So on the storyboard, it says girls working at a spinning mill. From the Meiji to the Taisho era, there were several of these spinning mills in Japan. Girls who had just graduated from elementary school were kidnapped from rural areas. They had to work in silk mills. You can read about them in The Tragic History of Factory Girls. The point is, they're all factory girls wearing worn-out clothes, meaning that they're all in his league. If you look closely, you won't see any upper-class girls. Not one. Not in this scene. Jiro is always looking for someone who is easily in his league, and when he finds one, he is always drawn to her. That's the way he is. Miyazaki intentionally brings in these factory girls. When you look at it carefully, you can see that Miyazaki created Jiro's character with extreme care. It's so interesting. These girls are still in middle school or high school, so they're the same age as Jiro, and they're screaming and waving at him. In response to that, he flies in a circle, and the shadow of the plane falls on the factory chimney. That means he's close to the factory, but the plane doesn't disturb the smoke at all. Miyazaki is very meticulous in the scene. So you would have expected the smoke to be affected when the plane nears the chimney. But in fact, it's completely unaffected. This means Jiro doesn't quite understand the mechanism of a plane at this point. Some of you might say, that's because it's a dream. But when Jiro flies low over the ground, the grass makes waves and everything looks very real. But this frame clearly shows that Jiro has never been on a real plane and shows the limits of his imagination. He may have a bakelite switch, but he doesn't know about runways. He can't even imagine the smoke being disturbed by the air current of the plane. So you can see that Jiro might be studious and wealthy. This is ultimately just a dream. But when he looks up, he senses something strange. There's something above the clouds. This is the frame. He's no longer a 13-year-old boy. He's older and very good-looking. This type of boy, who can often be seen in pre-war boys magazines in the Showa era, were all basically like this. All the characters are dressed like Jiro, and they're all good-looking or smiling. And Jiro in this frame looks just like them. In Jiro's mind, he's this good-looking guy from these boys' magazines. When he looks up, he sees an all-metal airship above the clouds. This is, by Jiro's imagination, a German Zeppelin airship. He probably knew that the Zeppelin was made of metal from some foreign magazine. If you look down here, there are lots of strange-looking bombs dangling from the aircraft. These are threatening to destroy the beautiful Japanese landscape and attack Jiro's pretty factory girls. Now, the concept of a huge metal airship has existed from as long ago as the second half of the 19th century. This is the magazine Popular Science, published in 1872. So scientists already had this concept of a metal airship 50 or 40 years before this period. When the airship comes close to attack the girls, Jiro courageously flies towards the airship to confront it. Next topic. What is the first wind that Jiro comes across? So far, I've only talked about the first 3 minutes of the film. Ready? Let's move on. Now, commentary number 3.